Good evening. Can I have a motion to open the meeting first?
Sure.
Kate, second, Lisa, all in favor? All right, let's rise for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the first discussion on our agenda. I open the floor to any discussion items from members of the Board of Education. Does anyone have anything?
Actually, I kind of do.
Okay.
Sorry. I know we're trying to get out of here early, but Kim, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but is there anything you could say, if you're allowed to say, with the just so many questions, just like, it's definitely gonna count, it's, you guys sending a letter, and if you're not, I know I should have, I'm kind of just throwing this at you, but I think the town.
Regarding the.
I'm sorry,
regions,
she can read my mind. The earth science and the bio regions, I don't know if you've been reading about it. Is there anything that, if not, if you're not prepared, we could do it at the next meeting, but.
Sure, so I can just start with where hold harmless. So in terms of hold harmless, it means that the students, we evaluate the students' overall average without the Regents exam and with the Regents exam, and if the Regents helps the student, then that counts as a fifth marking period, which means it's 20% of
So the
overall
parents
grade.
don't have to get in, like you guys are gonna do run the numbers
We
and
run the
see.
numbers
Okay.
and we determine whether or not a
Uh-huh.
student will be positively impacted, and then at that point we count the Regents exam. In terms of anything on the exam, because the exam itself is still embargoed and the
Okay.
state has not unlocked the key, we
Okay.
can't really speak to the specifics. However, what I can tell you is internally we have done a deep dive into
Yeah.
the exam itself. We've identified specifics with regards to questions and concerns that we might have, and at the point when it is not embargoed, then we'll be allowed to speak to the exam, and I can
Okay.
certainly delineate any areas
Okay.
that we'd like to comment on.
Okay, good. I'm glad just to put that out there. I don't think people understand the embargo either, so thank you.
Right, and it's the two exams. The
Yeah,
science.
earth science and bio. There's been a lot
Biology.
of things in the news, and I know a lot of parents are asking questions, so there's more information to come.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot we would love to share that we simply, at this point, can't.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Right. We're going to move on to continue to our first audience to visitors who's present, so I will move on to the approval of the minutes. This is the June 9th, 2026 minutes. Mark was absent. Could I have a motion to approve them? First, Bill, the second, Kate. Any questions? All in favor? We now move to personnel recommendations of the superintendent. We will take all appointments on page 1 for us to slate. May I have a first? Lisa, the second. Bill, any questions? And who do we have?
We have Allison here, who will become part of our guidance department. She's going to start right away on July 1st. Very excited to have her as part of our new team. So we can go down. Thank you.
Great, welcome.
Congratulations.
All right. All in favor? Okay, we now move to other matters. We will take A through D as a slate. First.
I think we may want to talk about, I think we should just, we're upfront on the boiler stuff, the capital work. So maybe you want to do the.
Let's do it under questions, right? Do you want to do that?
Okay, yes, yeah, before, good.
Yeah, okay. A first, Lisa, a second, Bill. Any questions? And I guess we'll actually, Joe, if you could just go over this for us.
So I think the first we see, A, is a memorandum of understanding for the, to have a contract with our Teachers Association. It's a 5-year contract. And then we're very excited to do that, for everyone working hard to put this together. I'm very happy to be able to resolve this before the end of the school year. And we'll be working on getting everything folded in the contract. I spoke with Joe, it'll take about 2 weeks or so to have it finalized. Yesterday, the HTA voted and ratified it on their end, and today it's fully closed from the Board of Education to vote to accept it.
All right, great.
Yeah, so first, that's good news. Just to clarify, in case somebody's watching this and doesn't know the detail, so it's a 5-year contract, but we start in year 3, right?
Correct, 2 years of the contract are past 2 years.
And I just would like to thank Kate and Mark, and yourself.
Everybody,
I've
thank
been
you.
there, but Kate and Mark did a lot of work
great nights. Thank you, Kate, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, everyone. Like,
All of
and,
you, but-
yes, but thank you, I appreciate it.
You're
Thank
the
you.
only one, you and Mark are the only ones not here today, so.
True, true. Didn't think of it like that, but yes, thank you. for saying that.
B is the capital project for the boiler replacement. Allison, if you want to, and we have Michael Mark, our architect here. If we have any questions specific to the capital project for the boilers.
So we went out to bid for the boilers. We received 4 proposals, and the lowest bidder dropped out. And so we are able to accept part of the second bid, of the second lowest bid, where we will be replacing the Lloyd Harbor boilers, which are the ones that need to be replaced first within the district, for a planned total of $1,297,000. As per the bid, and then we will do the west side in the next round of capital projects.
What was the lowest bid?
The lowest bid was $1,460,000, and that would have included Lloyd Harbor and West Side boiler, but not the boiler that's covered by insurance. So that excludes that boiler, as that will be covered by our insurance reciprocal.
So wait, that 1 million, what is it? Did you say
The
five?
$1,460,000, that bidder dropped out.
Okay, but this covers both of them?
The next highest bidder, the bid was too high to cover all of the boilers, so because the bid was written as line items, meaning that we could award the bid by line item as opposed to awarding the bid in its entirety, we are asking the Board of Education to consider awarding just the 2 line items that cover the Lloyd Harbor boilers.
So wait, so it's over $1 million just to do Lloyd Harbor?
Correct.
Correct, to do 2 boiler systems at Wood Harbor.
Yes.
Which is very high. That's why I want to make sure we're discussing this.
I know we don't really, they're in dire need, right? of
Correct.
maintenance.
Yeah, we don't believe, based on the advice of our Director of Facilities and our architect, that they're gonna make it through another winter.
Do you think this is a,
Yeah, absolutely necessary. So Lloyd Harbor has 2 boiler rooms, one in the front of the building, one in the back. Each of them has 2 boilers in it, so it's a total of 4 boilers that are being replaced. But they're all the same age, and they're all in.
oh, so there's 4
disrepair.
boilers?
There's 4 total boilers in 2 boiler rooms. So you have 2 boiler plants,
Right.
but a total of 4 boilers.
I remember when we toured, we saw that. But do you think this price is something that's not out of the ordinary, or?
It's what the market is showing. We've had other bidders that came in even higher. It's consistent with what's there. The prices in the market are very high right now, just generally. You have steam boilers, which are the more expensive of the 2, but converting everything to hot water would cost even more money at this point.
What's the lifespan on a boiler like this?
It should be at least 20 years on a boiler like this with good maintenance. The ones that are there have lasted 70 years.
They don't make things like they used to.
Certainly not, absolutely not. It's cast iron pipes and sections, but steam is very corrosive just by its nature.
Right.
So they do require a lot of maintenance. The district has already taken a step toward helping this in the future, whereby replacing your condensate pumps, that's already done. The valving will be replaced, so the district maintenance has taken steps to help ensure the longevity of these boilers.
And how long will it take for this to get done, do you know?
The work won't take more than a few weeks. The problem is the lead time on the boilers is very long. So when they're ordered, they're probably 24 weeks away.
So
We're
that's,
going to have to Band-Aid those existing boilers along and make sure that we can maintain heat in the buildings until these come in.
so that's why we can't wait and go out to bid again and
Correct.
see if it's better.
Yeah, as it is right now, we spoke to the prospective low bidders and asked them to check all their supply houses and see if they can get 1 boiler in each boiler room before the heating season to at least help us with that. They're working on that now.
Okay.
So they'll make every venture that they can to try to expedite.
And how many boilers will we be installing?
4.
4. So it's a 2 and 2
2
for
in the
2.
front boiler room, 2 in the back.
And they're all in terrible shape.
They're all
Sorry,
now equal.
if this bid's covering Lloyd Harbor, how can we do 1 in each boiler?
No.
No, we're not
1 in
doing
each of the 2 boiler rooms.
Oh, okay.
So the way boiler rooms work, you have 2 in each, there's what they call a lead and a lag.
Got
So
it.
when you need a little bit of heat, 1 boiler comes on. If you need more, the second boiler comes on. So we're looking to at least get 1 in each of those boiler rooms to take care of the initial load. 24 weeks puts us right around the end of the year. We really have our coldest months in February, January, February. We're hoping by then we'll have them all.
How long does it take to install them once they're here?
Couple weeks.
a couple weeks. So like, does the heat need to be shut down?
The heat will never be shut down when the buildings are occupied. So
Okay.
what they'll do is all of their piping, put that in place and do the crossover either on a break or over a week.
Okay.
So, my understanding though, if we do a project like this, it's always cheaper to do in bulk. So I'm a little lost about why we're not doing West Side. I know you said we didn't have enough money, but,
So
is the
that,
West Side gonna be that much more if we just bid it separately?
well, we have other boilers in the district that need to be replaced. So when you look at our 5-year capital plan, we also need to begin thinking about replacing the boilers in all the buildings, Goose Hill and the high school. So we still have a chance to go out and competitively bid in bulk. So I think that we have, an opportunity to still get best pricing if we go to the voters for approval to, spend more of the capital funds on the additional boilers, which we can do either in a special vote or we can do that during the regular budget vote.
Okay, well, it sounds like time is of the essence here.
Yeah, right.
Being in the building.
Unfortunately, the water department was in such poor condition that we want to make sure we have, this was a tough winter, so we have another tough winter. Nobody likes the price, but this is the price.
And how long can we wait for West Side? If they're in a better shape, but does that mean we can wait, like Bill was saying, we're gonna combine them with other schools?
West Side, we feel we can get another year or two out of
Okay.
safely. There's been a lot of repairs and maintenance done to sort of, as I said, extend that life. Condensate pumps have been replaced, and so things are, the supplemental parts of the boiler are in better shape than the boiler itself.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the west side is the same setup as the water department with as a primary and a secondary?
Correct.
And I believe the one that was involved with the fire incident, has a lot of the parts have been replaced, so it's in pretty decent shape at this point.
Correct, but that's in the south boiler room. The north boiler room,
Mhm.
has 2 boilers in it. With the price, the low bid price on that one was $667, which is why we were over budget if we were to include that. They're slightly larger, the west side boilers, that's why they're a little bit more.
There's no other financial ways to take excess for this year and allocate it?
We can't do that because our transfer to capital was $1 million, and the board authorized the use of H funds, existing H funds that voters had already approved for heating, ventilation, HVAC improvements. So we've allocated the most money that we can from existing voter-approved capital fund projects, which the board acted on in June. And then we have the $1 million in transfer to capital. So those two combined will not give us enough money to cover the entire bid.
Michael, how long do the bids stay valid for?
By contract, 45 days, but they can be extended with the authorization of the bidder. So we can go to the bidder and ask them to hold their price for a period of time, and ask them and see what they can say. We've had many successful vendors that way. They can't do it infinitely, but they might extend 60 days or 90 days, if the money was forthcoming.
Okay.
Do you mind to tell us a little bit about the air conditioning?
So we received 4 bids also for the air conditioning. The lowest bidder was immediately disqualified because of lack of the required paperwork in the bid. The second lowest bidder, Michael Mark and his design studio, was working with them to try to get the appropriate recommendations and assurances of insurance. And just late yesterday, correct, Michael, that contractor dropped out. So citing issues with his subcontractor. So we've decided to ask the Board of Education to consider a different alternative route, which is that there is an existing competitive bid that we actually took part of, that Smithtown School District put out last year. So we are a named participant in this bid, which means that it's not a piggyback. We participate in the cooperative bid. I think that, I don't know, did you get any notification about whether it was extended?
Not yet.
Okay, so the paperwork that we have right now, it expired this past March, but we're looking to see if that bid was extended. If it was extended, we could potentially use that bid to put in ductless systems in the classrooms that still need air conditioning, which would be more expensive than a window unit, but according to our architect, they are more efficient, they last longer, and they're quieter, which is always a plus for a classroom. Michael gave us an initial quote, again, a very rough figure of about $500,000. We do currently have that money in the H fund, again, a voter approved use of that funding for air conditioning, so we have the money. We don't have to go back out to the voters for that. So should that contract be viable, that would be our backup right now. Because we are asking the Board of Education to reject all of the other bids because the other two bids are precipitously high. They're just out of bounds. I don't know any other way to put it. There is no way that we could justify spending that kind of money on window air conditioners.
So
One
the
was
other-
just under $1 million,
And those
and
are
the
just
other one was
window.
over
Correct.
$1 million just for window ACs, correct?
For someone to come in, put them in the window and plug them in.
Correct. Well, there's some electrical
Well, no,
work
right,
and there's
yeah,
some, you know,
outlets,
there's some
remember that?
finishing that they,
Remember the whole
there's-
outlet thing?
they have-
to get outlets?
they have to do, you know, they have to do other work.
But yes.
But yes.
Yeah.
Now, these
So-
are the kind that go up on, they don't take up any window space, they go on
Correct.
the wall, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, but we don't
So-
know yet about that.
Right, so that's our current hopeful backup plan. We just have to find out. Michael is, you know, helping us and trying to figure out if that cooperative bid is still, that competitively bid contract is still in effect or
Well,
has
why-
been extended.
Why wouldn't we have used those originally, just because they were more expensive? I
It's
mean, I know you
always a
were-
good idea to go out to bid, so.
But I
you know,
mean, why wouldn't we have used those air conditioning units originally?
Because they're more expensive.
Because they're more
Because they're more expensive, yes. And we also, we're trying to make sure that we air condition our spaces and places for students as quickly as possible. And this is, you know, thinking in the future of potentially spending more money to really upgrade our univent systems, to provide, you know, a much better fresh air intake, to provide much better air conditioning in the classroom that would last longer. So we didn't want to spend a lot of money
Okay.
on something that we might replace in 5 years.
If you remember Monday night on a capital project, we were talking about many of our unit vents are original to the district.
Mhm.
So it's about time to start replacing them. And as
Yeah.
Michael has said, they really on their last legs. And you build them or you purchase them that are heat and cooling for down the road.
Right,
So
but we have to get something now.
we need something.
We need something
So
now.
my question is, if we are able to do that, when would the work be able to be done this summer before the kids return in September, if we're able to go with that option?
So I believe you contracted the company and they said yes. They said that the equipment was in, it was in the warehouse, so it was something that could be accomplished.
So that,
The equipment are readily available, the rooftop is readily available, the electrician is on call and ready to go.
Mhm.
so, and if not, then we would go out to bid again. That's,
Yes.
and then obviously would not be done this summer. It would have to
Right,
wait
we
next
would have to,
year.
it would have to wait.
Could you refresh?
Unless we could find another, so there is one possible other solution, maybe down the pike, but it's on the governor's desk right now, so we don't know whether or not. There was legislation that was passed in both houses of the state that extends the ability to use other contracts as a piggyback on public works, which is set to expire at the end of this month. So if the governor does sign it, it could potentially extend it for another year, in which case we could look for other contracts that were competitively bid. Again, the use of a piggyback contract is limited to the fact that it has to follow general municipal law 103 with, you know, the proper procurement and bidding done by another entity that we could then, you know, use their work to complete another public works contract. So
If you remember,
we just don't know.
we did something similar with the traffic light. We went out to bid, and we actually saw the requirements contract through Huntington was less expensive by 30 or 40,000, don't quote me exactly. And we went with the Huntington requirement contract. So we actually saved money, but we did the bidding process.
So there's another potential avenue, of course, pending Board of Education approval, and if we can find said contract that allows us to piggyback on it.
And can
So-
you, just really quick, remind us, we've done air conditioning work
Mhm.
before, so remind us where are these units? Like, where is this work being done?
It's all 4 buildings.
Mhm.
It's roughly 100 units need to be completed
In
across.
class- in
In
classrooms.
classrooms,
Classrooms.
some small offices, but it's majority, I'll probably say 95%, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, are classrooms.
Okay.
I feel like we don't have 100 rooms in the district. So.
Oh,
We do.
We have 70 at the junior, senior high school classroom. Lloyd Harbor, we said was 37 the other
37,
night.
yeah.
I agree, when you start thinking about it, you walk like, oh my God, you really do have those.
Okay. So, crazy question, but are we entitled to use this remaining H fund money for the AC to do the boiler?
No, we cannot do that without voter approval. So there are really tough restrictions or tight restrictions on capital funding, and it all requires voter approval. So when we do transfer to capital, we're asking the voters to approve it as part of the expenditure budget for the following school year. So that is voter approved. When we open a reserve, we have to get it voter approved. When we take from the reserve and apply it towards capital projects, that has to be voter approved. And we have discussed, that there could be some creative ways to use some of our existing H fund money. We could go to the voters, again, during a special vote or during a regular budget vote to repurpose the money that's existing in the H fund. And these are all options that the Board of Education can consider, but we cannot do anything without voter approval.
Yeah.
And to do a special, oh, sorry.
The heating is a must-have. The AC is a nice-to-have. I get there's going to be days where we say, gee, we wish we had finished that air conditioning, but I really am worried about the
Well, we do
heating.
have that policy, right, that the classrooms can't be a
Yeah.
certain
Yeah, we
temperature.
cover it.
Yeah.
We can operate
We
contingently.
can move
You
those
can
classrooms.
Well, I think there's, and I understand what you're saying. I think there's two different, I think streams here. One is that the voters already approved air conditioning projects, and that money is sitting in the H fund. So we've levied the taxpayers, that money is there. The boilers, we have a voter approval to allocate money towards Lloyd Harbor and West Side. Actually, all 4 buildings within the existing money in the transfer to capital, that's just limited by how much money sits in those voter approved lines within the fund.
You actually said in the referendum that how much was going to be allocated for each.
Yes, because that's all we have. So when you look at, it was from the 2018-19 vote, the voters approved heating work, and in the 21-22 vote, they approved heating work. And so my office analyzed the funds that were remaining in those 2 voter-approved capital project allocations, and that's how we came up with the 680, I think it was $427 or $227.77. That's literally
You
what's
remember
left.
that.
That's literally what's left, and you approved that in June.
And Bill, we went through that language multiple times, like, can we read it this way, that way, and another way to see how, because like, we will have money left over, because that was money for the traffic light and AC together. The traffic light came in way under the estimate, and this is coming in under the original estimate for the AC. We really looked to see how we could wiggle that, but it wasn't there.
And I do want to thank you and the board for asking these important questions, because this is complicated. And by asking the questions, you are making it more understandable for the general public.
Thank you. Is everyone good?
Mhm.
All right, so I'll ask, all in favor? Okay, this is the second discussion section of our agenda. Does anyone have anything to ask, talk about? Okay, the second audience to visitors, but no one is present, so I will move on to make a motion to enter into executive session for purposes of legal. May I have the first? Lisa, a second. Bill, any questions? All in favor? All right,
Thank you.
thank you.